Why does it take so long to do that nowadays? If only all the cars that people had like this in real life sounded like the way that the one does in this game. Love the way that that car sounds at idle. Sounds like a drag car with like a naturally aspirated engine. Ford Jocus. Hocus Pocus. It's a Ford Focus. Hocus Malocus. It's a Ford Focus. This thing is so much slower than the Impala. The Impala used to be in my like F tier of cars, but now it's actually like at least a C tier. like how it says rear fender visual part, but it shows the side skirt. How's it going? Why? My comments to speech are on. It's just not. It's also not showing people who are watching. So my entire stream thing is just glitched out recently. It's old news with fucking YouTube, anyways. I guess I'll just go through and use all the front-wheel drive vehicles because they're always low performance. Honda Civic Type R, otherwise known as, did someone chop a Ford Focus? Did someone cut the roof off of a Ford Focus and glue it back on 4 inches lower? If they ever do a magic show, they need the reward to be a Ford Focus. So they can make it appear as a reward at the end of the show. Yeah, sadly, I played 2,000 hours of the base version of that game, and I think Iceborne is dog shit. So I only put like 400 hours into Iceborne, and I put 2,000 into the base game. No way, nerds. This car's not too bad, just doesn't have any top end, so those other cars are going to catch up to me real quick. Sorry, I was wondering if I'd turn my mic on or not. I never expect a front-wheel drive car to handle that good while under full throttle, but welcome to the Crew 2. Or late game Crew 2, I should say. surprised I was able to outrun that Porsche as easily. Now, don't get me wrong, I would still recommend Monster Hunter to people who want that type of experience. I just think the clutch claw mechanic really takes away from what Monster Hunter is as a core game. And forces you into doing nonsensical bullshit to get any downtime on the monster, because they had to nerf all other mechanics down to having almost zero reusability after they activate once in the fight. Everything had to have significant diminishing returns. And I don't like the fact that they decided to go with that route. They were already going with that route the game before World, but World like solidified it, and we're going away from the you can have fun combining weird things together to the we're taking it super serious speed kill. We're trying to compete with other hard games, and it's just like you're doing it wrong. People liked old Monster Hunter games because they were very meticulous and specific, and the way that the monsters worked had kind of a pattern to them. In Monster Hunter World, it's just random attack, random attack, random attack, random attack, random attack, hard-hitting attack, random attack, random attack. Oh, I used the same attack 5 times in a row. That's incredibly devastating because it's hard to counter if you're not using a lance. Oh, I just killed the ranged guy in 1 hit. I hate everything about that kind of shit. And I mean, it used to be that way. But when it was that way in Monster Hunter 3 and 4, you could very easily react to everything that was going on. Go watch people fight Rei Zhang in Monster Hunter 4 or in any of the other games that Rei Zhang is in, and then compare it to how Rei Zhang is fought in World. And it will make your eyes like open as to how similar the games are, but how different they fundamentally are, just on a basic level. People have always been using guns to break the game. That's been consistent across different games. The only thing that makes Monster Hunter Worlds even more broken is that it plays like an actual third-person shooter now. Whereas in all other Monster Hunter games, you would aim in the screen like GoldenEye. If you ever played GoldenEye 64, the way that you'd aim on like Monster Hunter 4 or 3 or any other game, even Generations, you press a button that's one of your like attack buttons basically that zooms your screen into a first person mode. And then in this first person camera square of the environment, you can move your crosshair on the screen to shoot at monsters. You were not mobile, you could not move while shooting. Only in Generations could you move while shooting, and you couldn't move while shooting. You could shoot, dash, shoot, dash, shoot, dash, but you couldn't aim after the dash shoot. So you would just dash to the left, shoot 3 shots generally in the monster's direction, dash to the right, fire 3 more shots and stuff like that. And it would just be, you'd do that the entire fight, and you'd only have 3 or 4 ammo types on your weapon. I mean, most people who do bowgun do that in Monster Hunter World, but World actually lets you use a lot of different ammo types, and they'll all be useful without having specialty builds for them. Just because bowguns are broken. They used to be even more broken when the game came out. When the game came out, you literally only had to put slash berry and make slicing ammo, and all you had to do was fire slashing ammo, and you could literally kill Kieran full health to nothing, only firing slicing ammo, and all Elder Dragons pretty much, as long as they had a slicing weak spot you could hit reliably. Because slicing ammo used to hit like 8 times. It was either 8 or 9 times. Or maybe it was less than that, because I think slicing ammo currently hits 3 times. I don't know, it's been so long since I've played, I've honestly forgot. And I wasn't much of a bowgun user. I used most of the melee weapons except for dual blades and insect glaive. I had over 300 with all other ones though. 300 quests complete. Hunting horn being my highest, which was at around 600 quests complete. I'll also be extreme behemoth with hunting horn. Back when it was the hardest content. It still is one of the hardest things in the game, because it is a boss that's not designed to be played in a random RNG Monster Hunter AI environment where you cannot reliably control where the fucking boss is going. It's not fucking Final Fantasy 14, Capcom. I don't know, like, that's half of the reason why that fight is difficult, just because you can't fucking control what he's doing at all. And so your speed of which you kill him is completely dependent upon his AI. If he decides to do the shoulder charge past you 4 times in a row, you can't do any damage. That was just a 30-second downtime you spent trying to get over to him to do damage, only for him to do a shoulder charge and move all the way to the other side of the little circle you're fighting in then. And it's just like, so much of Monster Hunter World is so poorly designed, but people are supporting it, so nothing's ever going to change. See, I stopped playing it when I stopped enjoying the game. And I would keep going back to it and figure out, oh yeah, I remember, I don't enjoy this game. Every single time I go back, I go, oh yeah, I remember, you have to clutch claw a monster to weaken it to do full damage. No matter what, you always have to do that. If you want to deal your full damage, you have to clutch claw and smack them with the clutch claw. And most weapons have to do it twice. Because doing it once isn't enough. You gotta do it 2 times. Shit is obnoxious. That's why I liked Hammer. Hammer is the best weapon if you're talking about its viability when you combine it with the clutch claw. Because you can just walk up to enemy holding R2, stand still, let go of R2, do the overhead swing, press L2, you spin up to the monster's face, hit them, and then you press triangle, and then your clutch claw attack ends in like a 1.5 seconds. It's it's just a flip down, and that's it. There's no dumb exaggeratory bullshit like the Great Sword, where it's dunk, dunk, clunk, grrr, all the way down to the bottom. And it's like, it takes fucking forever for that animation to happen. I hate it so much. If they sped up most of the clutch claw attacks by like 25%, not only would I think everyone would like it more, people would also not complain about it as more. But the only reason people complain is because most of the weapons in the game take too fucking long to clutch claw attack. And it's one of the reasons why the heavy bowgun can be used that way. You can literally make a build with the heavy bowgun that has no ammo. You don't need ammo. All you need to do is clutch claw. And you just clutch claw, fire. Clutch claw, fire. Clutch claw, fire. Because it's so fast to pull onto the enemy and then fire back off of them. There are videos of 4 people doing it and just killing monsters in like less than 6 minutes. It's obnoxious as fuck. And it's one of those mini douchebaggery things that it's like, this game probably would have been better off without a clutch claw mechanic. Just like Monster Hunter 3 was better off without water, even though they added water, they learned in later games not to do water fighting. So in Monster Hunter World, you have the Coral Highlands, which is a water zone with all the water vacuum sucked out of it. Someone siphoned all the water out of Coral Highlands. That's literally the only reason Coral Highlands exists. If you didn't know, if you played Monster Hunter World and wondered where that idea came from, it's not that they had an idea to make an above water coral reef. It's that they know the community hates water levels. So they didn't bother to put the water in the water level. They just made a water level and made it exposed. So you could still have the cool water level shit without it actually being a water level. And that's why Namielle is found on that map when she regurgitates water all over the place. That was clearly going to be a water elder dragon. There have been elder dragons like, I believe one of the Fatalises, White Fatalis. One of the starting phases is her underneath the water, and you have to fight it in the fucking water. And that shit is terrible. You don't want to experience that type of shit. So I do appreciate them for listening to a portion of the community, but there's a good portion of the community that they also just don't care about, and the only thing that they get away with is the fact that they have so many people that support that game, that literally farm the same monster, that make my guild card look like a joke, because my guild card would have like 1,000 fucking quests complete with a specific thing, and it would, some person would have like quadruple that easily, and that'd be just with one weapon. They'd have 4 weapons, quadruple my highest one. Alright, sorry. Sorry, I was having a bit of a bit of a cough. Wow, this thing cruises now. If I saw a Jeep Wrangler going 200 down the highway, I'd probably jump off the highway. This is faster than the fucking Honda Civic Type R. Oh, shit. Suspension almost got me. I need to soften that front end a little bit. Just out of spite, I like to cancel that song just because that song used to get all my Crew 2 videos blocked in some countries. That's how I do it. Yeah, I need to loosen up that front end. Oh my god. It's not putting the wheels on the ground. They're turning, but the vehicle ain't going with it. This thing looks so funny. It's like it's like a car with bad suspension. So many springs. Not gonna give me any double Nas ones, of course. It's a nice chill drive. Oh, there's a live reward somewhere, like right outside of this thing. Doing it live. What, Berlinetta? You think you can compete with the likes of the Jeep Wrangler? Should have probably braked a little bit earlier. I did it again on the same turn. Soiled it. Good thing it's not a summit run. Though now knowing that this thing actually cranks, I want to see a street race summit with this thing. Sounds like the most jacked six banger ever. I wonder if this thing got improved too. You looking at me? Was that you looking at me crossways there, pedestrian? Yeah, exactly. Don't be looking at me crossways like that. Man, there's so many street races in the game now compared to when this game first came out. Oh yeah, that's right. Shit. Oh, there it is. Yes. Oh god, now I gotta scroll all the way back. Is angry. They added emotes that you can do now too. How do you do those emotes, kiddo? Wait, is this even the right... Yes, it is. For a second, I thought I picked the Dodge Durango. But that doesn't even exist in this game. I just think they look almost identical. I think the Dodge Durango is more square. But they're so similar looking. I don't even think it's in this game. Which is weird, because that's like, to me, the quintessential like 90s, early 2000s SUV. I hear Bermuda. Or whatever you are. I don't expect this thing to turn in as well as it does. Because it's so big. Like that, I didn't need to slow down that much for that turn, but I did. This is why when people say that the ace mode races are hard in this game, I just wonder if they just don't get parts first. I mean, if you don't have any upgraded parts, they'll be hard just because you can't compete with the top speed. But the bots are terrible at turning. I'm terrible at turning. Also helps that they seem to have buffed a lot of these old cars that used to be absolute junk. I have early streams of me using all of these individual cars that I've done this reskinning and stuff to. And a lot of these cars were garbage. I guess I should try this one, because this is the one that always had the most broken physics model. Get a cooler car, kid. Before I put one of my horns through that plastic bumper of yours. Huh. Laughs and hot rod. Oh shit, they have 4 races all the way at the end now too. Those must have been from all the summits that I haven't done. Ooh, a commute. Perfect. I forget you get such a tiny slice of the world out of the cockpit of this thing. God, the understeer. He's trying to be a cool kid. I bet you can see the boost in the corner of the screen with this cam. Come on! Oh my god. You imagine being in this thing when it's slapping across the ground like that. Your fucking back would be done.
Where?
Oh, right, literally in front of my face. You friggin' dingo dial. Gotta turn around slowly so I can change into aircraft. Open reward as aircraft. Pick it up. What's up, William? Sorry, I didn't catch that a little bit sooner. I gotta... Where is it? There it is. I wish you could go from left to right in the list. Like wrap around. Oh yeah, I just saw you log on. Oh. I normally play alone, man, because I don't want to run into any connection issues with shit. But I'll try. It's not about bad internet, it's Crew 2's problem. Me and a friend who live really close together tried to play this together, and every third race it would just hang on this screen right here. And there's like a 50-50 chance you get stuck on the loading screen to load here. It happens with everyone. It doesn't matter who I play with. Oh, you actually loaded in the 50-50. Or did you? Yeah, you don't get enough time to select a vehicle. It don't work that well. You'd think with an online-only game, where it's literally only online, that it would work better, but it doesn't.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. Plus, there's also a glitch with certain cars in multiplayer at the moment, where it like makes the game lag really, really bad. You have to like, I had to force set this game to 1080p on my PS4 to make it run right. And now the AI is going to start rubber banding. I guess they toned that down a bit. This is also one of the reasons why I don't play with people a whole lot. Because I normally intentionally use weird and or bad cars. That's why I like the Summit, because everyone's forced to use weird or bad cars. And you don't really have a choice when you join in, because it just picks whatever the fuck your highest upgraded car is in the list. Again, this game is probably the most poorly designed multiplayer racing game there is out there. You can't, yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it either. Except for load to the same area where I am in, swap to your car, and then go into the race. But I like to just pick a random car, and I don't like to force people to mirror match me because this game has horrible car balancing. It's been a problem ever since PvP come out. Yeah, it doesn't even matter if you pick a street car and I load into the event. It'll literally put you automatically into that car 3 or 4 times out of 10. And it is, like I said, it is one of the most infuriating things in an online-only car racing game to do something like that. It's obnoxious. Here, you want to load to this race as well? Pick the car you want and then load to this race, and I'll activate it and stuff, and I'll see if it doesn't automatically swap you again. That's what me and my friend had to do, is we both had to make sure we were loaded into the same area when I went into the race. And sometimes you don't even show up to the people that you're in a crew with. Which is even stupider. Oh, I hate that. It does that after just standing still for like 30 seconds. You did? Like I said, I always try to make sure I'm within, like, coughing distance of the other person. It's a COVID joke. Hilarious. You'll hear that one from Tom Segura in 2 years, I guarantee it. You picked a Lamborghini? Why you gotta be a cheese lord, dude? That's a line I won't cross when it comes to street race. You're pretty much just saying, I'm going to win. That better be the Aventador and not the Huracan. Because if it's the Huracan, I'm gonna fucking virtual slap you out of that car. The Vanquish is honestly better choice than that thing. At least the Vanquish is more fair. That thing literally had world records for a better half of a year. Until people developed bike strats. This thing needs more front downforce. I run into that gate every time. Man, they really nerfed the fuck out of the AI, didn't they? I don't even get to fight with the rubber bandy AI. There's just nothing. This is fucking ace mode. Where the fuck are they? I'm not even doing that good. I'm in a goddamn truck. I actually finished that time. Oh wait, no I didn't. That's no fun, dude. Just like everyone else that I've ever played with. No class. I've gotten Nitro Chemist and I've never focused on getting loot. I have it in like 5 separate cars. Like this one. Because it needs it in order to go anywhere, as it's one of the slowest cars in the entire fucking game. I don't put it on the cars that don't need it. A world record holding car needing double boost. Unless you're trying to compete for world records, then there's really no point. The car is already so good, it's not going to make a difference in the ability for you to beat races. Or even do well in summits, because summits, you're doing well compared to other people is, did you play multiplayer and co-op draft? If answer is yes, then you are top 1,000. And I hate that so much. I wish they wouldn't let you do co-op in the summit. I wish it was single player only. So it was actually fair to people like me. You just started this 3 weeks ago? I could have swore I saw you playing this like a year or something ago. It must have been someone else. Or a different game, not the crew. Did you have Need for Speed Heat or something? I saw you playing another racing game. But I can't remember if it was this one or not. I think you were share playing it or whatever. I saw it on the what's new when you log on to your PS4 sometimes. Oh. Well, it's one of the better times to get it, considering you haven't had to wait for all the car updates and race updates. There only used to be like 10 street races in this game and 4 rallycross races. No, I'm not joking. It was so underdeveloped when it came out. It was borderline like alpha. Sorry, I'm trying not to hit you, but these things do not steer well. I mean, if you want to use your parts and stuff like that, I have no problem with it. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I could never find myself doing that, because that just takes the fun out of a racing game for me. Oversteer. Rallycross. What's funny is this car actually goes faster in the air than on the ground. If you take it off of a jump and hold the boost button, you'll go faster than you can accelerate if the wheels are actually touching the ground. Because of how broken this car's engine is. It just has no power at all. It's all torque, no horsepower. Oh, downhill. Now I can actually accelerate. It takes downhill to get this car to go up to 220. Even the Jeep Wrangler was doing that on flat. This thing can't even hit the rev limiter. So bad. Look at how far away you are. You would think this thing doesn't have full upgraded parts on it. You wouldn't even know this thing has a nitrochemist set. That's why I was saying. Oh my god. I want them to use this in the Summit. Because you can't go fast without drafting. I'm not going to beat you in any of the cars that I'm going to pick anyways. The whole point of what I was doing on my stream today. Yeah, but that's not a bad... None of those cars are bad cars, performance-wise. All of the little lightweight sports car type vehicles, they're all good in this game because they're lightweight. It automatically makes them good. It's all the like Honda Civics and all that kind of crap that are all just absolute garbage. In terms of performance anyways. You said you got this 3 weeks ago, but you're already 400? What have you been playing this like every day? I didn't even realize that. That's insane, dude. It probably took me like at least a month, 2 of playing the game in order to get that. I'm just letting you swap out your car or do whatever you need to. If you want to swap your good set of parts onto a different car or something, you don't have to do that. Again, like I said, you can continue using the Lamborghini if you want to. I'm just a person who Lamborghini shames people. 1, because I don't like Lamborghinis. 2, because it's one of the best vehicles, so it's automatically like... It's like the guy using the best gun in a shooter. It's like, oh yeah, you killed me with that, so what? It's like, try killing me with the little pistol, bud. Anyone can use the one-shot shotgun in a video game. And the Lamborghini is the one-shot shotgun of fucking Street Race. Everybody talks about how much they love it, but when it's used against them, they're like, immediate regret. Sorry, just decline it if you're still swapping out stuff. Or we're picking a different car. Because like I said, I have a lot of shitty cars that you probably don't even have. Because why would you waste your money on them? Oh my word. Well, there goes that. Optical illusion, the car looks skinnier than it actually is. Even the AI hit the wall on that turn. No! Why you no turn all of a sudden? Son of a bitch. Oh. This car has a low top speed, so I'm not going to be catching anyone anytime soon. Back here. still not used to the... I had a world record at one point in time when this game had just came out. It was on a rally raid, and now that record is like... I want to say it's like 600 or 700 or something like that. It's nowhere near being a record anymore. They've dropped off like 45, 50 seconds. It was back before there was even legendary parts in the game, so there was no double boost or anything. People didn't know the meta of bikes that was in a car, I believe. What's another bad car? Oh, this. Right. I don't like to open up the leaderboards, man. That kind of shit always doesn't load properly for me. Wait, do they not have a thing that... Oh, they changed the menu, that's right. So you can't even see the other people that are around you anymore? Oh. I see. You picked the guy that looks like my neighbor. I couldn't pick him just because he looks like my neighbor. It was too weird for me. The last time I opened up the menu for doing a leaderboard, it crashed my game. Because this game does not like me in online. It used to crash my game sometimes just going to photo mode. Collecting the rewards, that's why I don't collect the rewards for the icon levels anymore. Because the last 2 times I've tried to click one and accept it, it's crashed my game. And that type of stuff only happens with the crew too. I could play like Monster Hunter or something for like 8 hours on my PS4, and that makes my PS4 sound like a freaking jet at this point, because I need to get the dust out of the heatsink. Well, have you had it crash at all? Even my friend Hyro, who comes by my chat once in a while, He can vouch for the game crashing. One time he booted up the game and we were going to play together. He didn't have the game open for more than 5 minutes. He went to go and customize a car. He changed the skin on it and was looking through the skins and his game crashed. And he had to reopen his game. His game wasn't even open for 5 minutes at that point. Like, he had just turned his fucking console on. Oh my... What a bastard. Oh. I don't think I was going to be able to win in this thing anyways. Oh my word. You gotta be real suave with this vehicle. Smooth. It do not turn. It needs more front downforce, even more than it already has. It turns really well slightly, but the second you have to turn for more than a half a second... Is this the downhill part? Show 'em what you got. Show me what you got. That's what I want to see. I want to see someone be like top 100 on the leaderboard in like a Hummer. Or just something stupid. That Mercedes that I was just using actually is pretty decent. It's just got really slow steering, like this thing. It's very hard to outcompete a lot of the lighter weight cars in slalom. Sorry, I probably wrecked it. But yeah, have you ever had the game crash? My longest game session without the game crashing was 9 hours, which I mean is decent, but that was like one day specifically. You've never had it crash? You're one of the lucky few. You must really do have good internet. The magic internet. Another bad performance. vehicle. The Renault Megane rear steer. If you never knew what the RS stands for, the rear tires actually turn in this car. Cool. Wow. Sick. I don't know why I kept doing that winter race.
Streets your own.
No, I did the thing. Noobs love him. God damn it. Now I'm not even in drafting range. I was at least seemingly competing because I was in drafting range. And it was allowing me to keep up, but not anymore. I'm a front wheel drive car. Can't put the power to the ground without someone to draft. I wanted to put my loot all the way out there. Fuck it. Wait! Shit! You can't change the difficulty when you just restart.
3, 2, 1.
Hold on. My mistake. At least we're here at the start. Alright. Sorry.
Three, two, one.
Give it a little go juice.
You just put the traction on the ground so much better than this thing does. I just spin the tires. Weight distribution. Yeah, you're already out of range of me. Definitely now. Oh my god, you just don't expect a fucking front-wheel drive car to oversteer. But it's the fucking rear tires that are steering. But they only kick in once you have like 50% steering, so it throws you off. Sorry, I had a thing delivered. Yep, no problem. Wait, what was the thing I needed to do in free drive? Low altitude over Las Vegas or some shit? Oh my god. They did a drift on an actual racetrack. They listened. Hold on, I have to try doing this. They put a fucking drift track on a racetrack. Sorry, I'll go back to doing street races after this. I just have to try this first. Wait, there's a lot. Never mind. I would get the live reward if I wasn't playing with someone, but. Are you skilled at the art of drift?
1.
Some people are good at it, some people aren't. But this is exactly what the community always wanted. No, I touched the wall! Noob! Oh my god, I'm gonna touch the wall again. Yeah, absolute toss. Whoa, lag spikes. Can you not lag, game, please? Please, game? Yeah. Actually, hold on. Let me up the difficulty. Let me get it up to ace mode, just like I was doing with the street thing. Sorry, I keep accidentally retrying it and sending the mail. That's just a force of habit of how I play the game. I'm sorry. Just let me fucking... Yeah, there we go. Sorry. Again. You have no idea how many runs around Airport Terminal D that I've done. Testing out all the different drift cars. My favorite is the rough, but I took all the parts off because I was doing this challenge where you try to beat all of the drift ace mode tracks without any parts on the car. And the only two cars that I could do it with consistently was the rough CTR and the RX-7. I could do Airport Terminal D and get over 300,000 almost every single try with no parts on the car. Just base multiplier and everything. Sorry. You need me to retry, just let me know. Because I will retry if you have the ability to go without hitting the wall. But I always do a couple practice runs at first, because normally I'll hit the wall at one given point or another. Because I still don't really know how they have this set up that well for speed. So I'm trying to optimize using the brake before I optimize using speed. Because it's a lot easier to compensate for going too slow than it is to compensate for going too fast, if you feel me. That's why I sandbag the throttle a lot. And I'll aggressively slam on the brakes. Because you can even slam on the brakes sideways. Like, completely unrealistic bullshit physics type shit. So, you can really save yourself with, like, slamming the brakes sideways to induce a different direction really fast. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Because it's completely counterintuitive as to how drifting works in a car in real life. There, that's a better score. No touchy the wall. Hard braking into turns and then boosting out of them while holding the throttle. I'll show you how I have my car set up, because sometimes changing their settings a tiny bit can actually make drifting at lower speeds a lot easier. So if you want to mimic these settings, if your settings are stock on the car, you should try doing something like this. If you want the car to be a little bit more slicker, I don't know how to explain it. If you feel like my car looks like it's operating differently than yours, this is probably why. Pretty much any drift car that has front roll bar, turn it off. You don't need it. Most of the cars have such stiff front ends anyways without a roll bar that you don't need the roll bar to stop you from overturning, as you could see in my car. You don't have to worry about overturning, you need to worry about understeering and then the car powering itself straight again. And that's what having this set that way does. Same thing with having a stiff front end by increasing the suspension tightness. This is how people do drift cars in real life on a budget. Because all you're trying to do is induce the rear end to come around the front end in a controllable manner. You can also, if you want it to drift even more at higher speeds, if you're gonna like go for more records and stuff, and put the front downforce up a little bit, because you'll need it in order to actually turn in the corners without just sliding into the wall. But that, if you're doing low speed drifts, will have an impact that will make you turn way faster in instead of drifting. So be mindful of that. Tell me if you need me to show my settings again. If you want to try my settings, again, I have my settings changed on pretty much every car that I have. Because some of them need just like a couple little tweaks, just like one thing up and down, and then the car will handle so much better. Because a lot of the time, the problem that a lot of people have with the cars in this game, that is the reason why the RX-7, by default, no pro tuning, anything, is one of the best drift cars, because it starts out controlling like that, where it's very easy to control the angle of the drift and keep the throttle, let off the throttle and stuff. You get a very good feel of how the drift mechanics work with that car. Whereas the Viper is a lot more power forward, meaning in order to come out of a turn and actually stay sideways, you have to hold that throttle down for a while. But then the car will go through this like rapid acceleration, which, like I said, you need to slam on the actual brakes. Don't use the e-brake. Use the actual brakes.
Don't even dream breaking my record.
And don't counter steer. Just actually turn with the drift and only counter steer if you need to go straight again. Because the car will pretty much drive itself sideways with little to no input from you. All you need to do is set it at the right angle and then just press and tap the throttle. And the car will pretty much do everything for you with this setup. You can do those really slight drifts like you see me do in it, because it has such a loose rear end, but not uncontrollable. Again, that's why you don't want front roll bar, because the front roll bar is what makes it stiffen up like that and want to snap back forward very easily instead of just kind of gliding on the ground, because that's almost what it feels like. It kind of feels like the rear tires are on ice and the front tires are glued. Again, you need so much less steering input than you think you actually need. Because this is if I hold the steering left and right. You get into those crazy sidewards turns, which do work, but you have to do them very early. Because it will just make you slide into the wall with this kind of setup. This is all about just set it at the angle, and literally you can take your left hand off the controller, sort of thing, and the car will hold that angle. The left analog stick you just use as basically a guide. And you just go back and forth as you need less and less angle or whatever. Or not back and forth, but like, if you need it to be a slightly steeper drift, you just tap in that direction a little bit more. And just, like, it's very... And like I said, the brakes and swinging the car left or trying to counter steer it can actually compensate a whole lot more than you think. If you see what I mean. I'm like going easy on it because, again, I'm still trying to figure out where I can put the power down on the track to do that. Because you can really hit it hard. That's how the people get like the 700,000 plus scores. I can't do that kind of stuff consistently. I always end up fucking up one turn and hitting the wall. But here, I said I was going to go back to street racing. I just wanted to try it because I never have seen them put a drift track on an actual track, which is like the best surface for it. Half of the drift tracks in this game fucking suck. But if you want to do more, let me know. As with anything else, it takes practice, though. My recommendation, if you really, really want to get good at drifting, is just use the RX-7 on Airport Terminal D until you can beat it on Ace mode with no parts on the car. 0 parts and everything. Because it's very, very easy to get the max score on it, which is like 280 to 300,000, which is what you need to beat it in Ace mode. You can do that almost every time. Almost. Of course, if you hit the wall once. I think I've actually used all the shitty cars. I haven't used this truck yet. Oh shit, I should have told you to change your car, because it's going to default you to that crappy one again if you don't. If you were still drifting around that track. This is going to suck. For me.
Three, two,
But I have to do it.
1.
Oh my god, this thing sucks. This thing is worse than the actual... It's a truck and it sucks worse on dirt than the actual fucking race cars do. What a twist! I want it to make like a squeaky door sound whenever you slide and it goes. I think I have one more race that I have not done yet. No. This is one of the only cars that's actually allowed to just blow donuts in the starting area. Most other cars can't, because they have too high a RPM. Because that's all the game stops, is the RPM. But in certain low RPM cars, you can actually spin your tires and blow donuts in there. Oh my god. I'm not used to these vehicles steering as fast as they do, if you're wondering why I keep driving off the road with a lot of them. They changed the handling model on a lot of the cars like a couple updates ago. And it's like, it's hard to break the habit of how the model used to be in your brain. Which the old model used to have a lot more emphasis on light steering, because you would have to like steer early so you could actually turn into the turn. Because cars would massively understeer all the time. And now they oversteer like crazy. They do the opposite, where it's like, you can turn so much sharper than you think you can now. And cars that have no reason turning that sharp. Like this car. This car has no reason being able to take these turns like this. But I can, and I was just underestimating it the entire like first lap, because I just didn't trust it to be able to take the turns like that. It's just obnoxious. It's not that I hate it, it just made a lot more of the cars more viable. It's just hard for me to get mentally used to a long wheelbase car like this going and instantly turning in so fast. It's like there's no ground resistance on the tires anymore. What the hell? Where do you enter that race? All the way over here? That's fucking weird, dude. With Coral Gables, I used to just drive from the end of the track back into the race normally. But this one, you legitimately have to teleport to it every time because it's so fucking far away from where the actual track is. It's ridiculous, dude. No wonder it takes a second to load after that.
3, 2,
Really goddamn ridiculous.
1.
The time has come
Accelerate,
for you to
car.
own the streets.
God, drafting doesn't even save this car. You're just gone. No, I fucked it up. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's not like I was ever going to be able to catch up anyways. Just would have kept slowly pulling away anytime I couldn't draft. You would think a muscle car with a frickin' strong ass engine in it like this would be able to climb a hill a little bit faster, but honestly that's where it loses it. Just on that hill climb. Not even in the turns. In the turns I can actually keep up with you pretty good, to my surprise. Not when I do that though. It's just like someone needs to kick this car in the ass so it goes faster. Oh my god, I can't believe it can do turns like that. If only it had a little bit more power, it would be a contender for actually being a good car. Hold on 1 second. I need to use the bathroom real quick, if you don't mind. Alright. Ace. Ace Eldorado pilot of the 3rd Division. Halloween Brigade.
Three,
they're ravenous. I understand I'm going kind of slow, but I kind of have to turn in this thing. Whoa! What in the hoozy, what's it? Oh, you threw this race away. Oh. They were gonna catch me. Yo, comrade. Don't rock the boat, baby. Did he just get DC'd? Because he wasn't moving at all. Yep. Driver alert. Bad driver alert. Do you see the freaking thing glitching out?
Three, two, one.
So bad at driving these. It's not even because they're fast, it's just because their steering is so good that you can't just lightly steer. Everything is like tapping. How did that count as getting that checkpoint? Oh god. Scariest fucking driver ever. Oh god. Great. Excuse me. Is that YOLO King? Swedish YOLO King! I choose you! Let's use a different Schmeiber car. I forgot I did this to this car. I'm sorry, car. What have I done to you? I made you hideous. You're a monster. Speed lines. I go faster now. Is that really what it looks like to look out the rear of this car in real life? That'd be fucking weird.
3, 2.
It's like looking out the back of a pickup truck, but there's no bed.
Be
Or a
smart
Jeep
about
or
how
something.
you use all that horsepower.
Look out, suckers! We're in first place.
Oh god, this car does not turn. What the fuck? Why does this thing not turn? I might have to give it some adjustments. so bad? Why is it so bad? Oh. There we go. I think that should do. That should make it turn at least a tiny bit better. That's how you do it. That's what you want to see. That's what we all wake up in the morning for. It's such a stiff, gluey handling in this car. Does this car have the old handling model still? I feel like it's gluey. It's sticky. Sticky icky. Oh god, brake no work. The brake no work. Whoa, sticky tires. Get off the hill.
Three, two, one.
You're gonna win this easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Here's Citron. I just realized that wasn't even Ace. And I was barely beating that guy because I suck at driving this slippery dickory car. Slip, 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 slip. Here, let's try using this. Yeah. This is guaranteed loss. But it's got my name on it.
Your name into that track.
Well, I'm gonna be back later. I got a couple things that I need to do, and I didn't plan on streaming for very long today. Have a good one.